and welcome back to All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson is a candidate for the Alameda County Superior Court. He's a lawyer who has practiced law for, over 20 years right here in the Bay Area. It's a person that you should take a serious look at. You know why? Because I have endorsed him. I can't think of a better reason than that to vote for Michael Johnson for Alameda County Superior Court. Now, how about that as a plug? Was that a good plug?
Very good, thank you.
Now let's talk a little bit about your vision and mission for the bench.
Sure. Well, my vision, should I be elected, and
You're going to be elected, so let's move on. We take that as a given.
Thank you. Is to promote efficiency and transparency in the court. In my experience, I've seen, due to budget concerns and whatnot, that the court services are not being made available to their fullest capacity, and that's because we don't have enough clerks, we don't have enough interpreters, we don't have enough judges, and other facilities to serve the public. So I'm going to do the part that I can to try to help bring that about, and that's my mission as well. In my experience, I've worked with the Judicial Council to try to get more funding for the court. We've been somewhat successful, but we can always do a lot more. As I said earlier, there's over 50 languages in the 50 languages in this county. There's over 10 Asian languages alone. And so we have to be able to speak to everyone to make sure that they get equal and fair access and understand what's going on.
Are there interpreters in the court?
Great question. There are, and they're overworked really hard. We need more qualified interpreters, and that's a funding issue as well.
Now, we've heard the term judicial temperament.
Yeah.
What is your understanding of judicial temperament?
Good question. That refers to the fundamental character and behavior of a judge that makes him a capable jurist. Their ethics, their hard work, their experience. And not only that, but just the way that they treat the public.
In other words, their demeanor.
Yes.
If you have somebody who talks down to you just because they happen to be a judge, that ain't right. They should treat you with dignity and respect, irrespective of what your status in life may be. Is that right?
100%.
100%.
When I put on the robe, especially now when I'm a temporary judge, it's not like I'm sitting on a throne. I'm a public servant, right? And I want to make sure that everyone is treated with dignity and respect, just like you said.
Well, I have occasionally, in the few times that I've appeared in court, been before judges that not too cool. Matter of fact, they talk down to you, they disrespect the lawyers, etc. But you noted I said a few judges. That means that most judges are really good judges, and they know how to behave. But there comes a time when we do run into judges who do not exhibit judicial temperament.
No, you raise a good point, and rest assured, I have not been that type of judge as a temporary judge, and I definitely won't be that type of judge as a permanent judge. Matter of fact, presiding Judge Smiley, who is the lead judge in the Alameda County Superior Court.
I mentored him when he was a young lawyer, absolutely.
Okay.
I've known Judge Smiley, we call him Chad, for all of his judicial life.
Yeah, great man, great judge. But he actually sat in my court and observed me during many different proceedings, and he wrote in a letter of recommendation for me that...
Oh, so he wrote a letter for you?
Yes, sir, he did.
Listen now, if the presiding judge of Alameda County Superior Court writes a letter in support of one of the candidates for a judgeship, then that says something.
Thank you, it does. It meant a lot to me. But he said my work as a temporary judge is among the best in the county. And I think that's very significant.
Yeah, so do I. Let's talk a little bit about judicial ethics.
Okay.
I have heard and read complaints about your opponent, who is a commissioner, who made certain statements when he was before the Alameda County Democratic, whatever you call it, Commission, anyway, the party that supports candidates. Have you heard of that?
I was there.
You mean you were sitting there listening to him? Tell us about it then.
Well, to the extent that I can,
Okay, don't do anything you can't do, but just tell us what you can tell us.
You know, when you have a candidate for judge, you want someone who is completely impartial, not beholden to a political group, a politician, or a political issue. So we have to adhere by what's called, as you know, canons of ethics or rules of conduct all the time. So at this particular forum, my opponent pledged his support and indicated that he had voted for a political candidate, or a political officer who is currently embroiled in a large and widely publicized, shall we say, debate or issue or recall effort.
Yeah, right. It's a recall.
Okay.
And we're going to have to go to break as usual, but when we come back, we want to talk a lot more about judicial ethics, especially the canon of ethics that all judges are expected to adhere to, and what happens when they don't, and the impact that it has. So don't touch that remote. We will be right back with All About Community. Again, my name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is attorney Michael Johnson, candidate for the Alameda County Superior Court. We will be right back.